to another video. I am Amanda and this is Amanda's Kitchen, and in today's video I wanted to do just another what I eat in a day video. And I originally filmed this in December and thought I scheduled it for the last Wednesday in December, but guess I didn't. So here we are, first week in January, with what I ate for a day in December. I started out with a soy latte, and for breakfast I went with a classic avocado on toast. This is one of my favorite breakfast, snack, lunch, quick, easy, savory situations. And it was so funny, I was making this and my dog was playing with an avocado toy, so I wanted to show you. And for this recipe, I just simply added some lemon juice, olive oil, and salt and pepper into my avocado mash and kind of just mixed that up. My avocado was pretty small, so I did end up using a whole avocado this day. I toasted my bread, added a little bit of plant-based butter on top, and then proceeded to add my avocado mixture. And what I love about this is it's so customizable. You could really add any type of seasonings and toppings. My go-to is to add just a little salt and pepper on top, and of course the everything but the bagel seasoning. But honestly, the toppings are really limitless for a food like this. So I really enjoyed starting my day off with my latte and my savory breakfast. So let me know in the comments if you guys are team sweet or team savory for breakfast. I would love to know. And then moving right into lunch on this day, I made lunch for my mom and I. We were making Christmas cookies, so I wanted to do a veggie stir fry that I just served over rice. And for this, I used zucchini, bell pepper, onion, some frozen broccoli, and a little bit of edamame. And for the sauce, I just mixed water, rice vinegar, soy sauce, sugar, a little bit of garlic and ginger, and a tiny bit of red pepper, like just for a little bit of heat. And then at the end here, I added in some cornstarch to thicken everything up. And I'll link the recipe that I used to make this sauce in the description box below, but it's super customizable. So after I made the sauce and had all my veggies prepped, I took some toasted sesame oil over to my large skillet, heated that, and then I started with the onion and the pepper just so they would get nice and crisp tender for the stir fry. Allowed those to fry up for just a bit. And no matter what veggies you use, you just want to make sure you're kind of adding them in the order that they will cook. So you don't want to put in something that cooks really quick in the pan first. You want to save that till the end, which is why I waited till the very end to add in my zucchini, because that has the quickest cook time. And also the frozen broccoli, because that was already pre-cooked, it just needed to be heated through. And because the broccoli was still a little bit frozen, I actually did decide to add a lid to my pan here just to kind of lock in that heat and cook those veggies all the way through. Once they were cooked almost to my liking, I added in that sauce and gave everything a stir to coat, and turning down the heat a bit here just so nothing burns because there is sugar in the sauce. And I cooked this for a few minutes until the sauce became thicker to my liking. So when you can kind of move your spatula on the bottom of the pan and it kind of like leaves a trail, that's kind of how you know it's done. It just looks sticky and thick and delicious. So to plate this up, I first added in my white rice, my jasmine rice that I cooked in the Instant Pot just by using the rice setting. It's about 4 minutes for the jasmine rice. And then I topped my rice with the veggie stir fry, and it was really delicious. I loved the thickness of the sauce, and then I just topped it off with some sesame seeds, and this was a absolutely delicious lunch to share with my mom. She even went back for seconds, which I thought was so great. Moving right into dinner, I'm making one of my favorite kind of winter meals. It's a vegan 10 ingredient red lentil bolognese from Rainbow Plant Life is where I found the recipe, so I'll link that below. And it's so hearty and so delicious. It is a little time consuming, but I swear it's worth it. So the first thing you want to do is soak your lentils while you prepare the rest of the ingredients. And the first ingredient I thought was very important to open was the wine. And I opened that, poured that, and kind of worked on prepping the rest of the ingredients, chopping my onion, and getting everything else ready. And after the lentils are kind of soaking for at least a half an hour. I did it for a few hours just because I was doing some other things this day. You want to rinse those off until the water runs clear, just kind of as you would prepare rice, and then set those aside. And preparing all your ingredients beforehand really creates a kind of seamless, quick cooking process. So I measured out my garlic, I chopped up the walnuts, and measured out all of my spices and put them into individual bowls so I could easily add them when each step kind of appeared in the recipe. So this is mise en place, everything in its place, getting everything ready so you can just kind of dump and go, not having to kind of leave the stove and chop things or measure things to prevent burning. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And then of course I had to add a little bit of wine for me to sip on while I cooked, because this sauce does have to simmer for quite a bit. So now that we are ready to cook, I started my stove, added in my oil to the largest, highest rimmed skillet that I had, and began by cooking the onion. And we're actually going to caramelize the onion here. So adding it into the pan with oil and just a little bit of salt to bring out some of that moisture. And you want to cook this until it starts to kind of get a little bit brown on the bottom, at least 5 minutes, and then you could always add a little water if it starts to burn and turn down the heat. And then you'll add the garlic and the spices and continue cooking for probably about 10 minutes, I think I said, or the recipe said, just to kind of get everything nice and cooked together. Yeah, so actually, I lied. You don't want to cook the tomato paste for 10 minutes. You want to cook the onions for another 10 minutes, and then you add the spices and the garlic. My bad. And then we're adding in the wine to deglaze, the nuts, the tomato paste, all that stuff. Yeah, you saw what I added here. But again, it's just kind of cooking for quite a long time in between, like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. And if you need to, if it's a little too like thick, you can add in some more veggie broth. I usually always do because I like my sauce saucy. And then the last ingredient is those crushed tomatoes and letting it simmer again for another 15 to 20 minutes, really allowing the flavor to develop, and seasoning with salt and pepper to taste as you go, because I think that's really important when you're cooking, to layer in the flavors and smile, adding the balsamic vinegar just to kind of finish everything off at the end. So again, the full recipe is in the description box below. It's not my recipe, but it's one that I really enjoy making, especially this time of year, because it's super cozy and hearty, and it actually freezes really well. So I just plated this on some fettuccine pasta, and I did end up adding a little bit of cashew parm to kind of top it off. And then for dessert, I had some of these chocolate covered hazelnuts from Thrive. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.